6:42 at News Talk 96.5 KPEL, and continuing her long tradition of transparency in local government, it's Bernadette Lee with Lafayette Live.
So joining us on Lafayette Live this morning is Lafayette City-Parish Councilman William Theriot. Sir, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much. All right, so the budget was presented, if you will, last evening, yes?
Yes. What it was last night is that each council member received our budget books, the new budget for the proposed fiscal 2016-17 year. So that was given to us along with a pro forma.
Okay, so big surprises or conversations. Let's talk utility rates. Is the suggestion in there is for an increase?
Yes. Some of the things that were brought forth to the council was that, number one, of course, we have a new administration. So
Sure.
This is their first budget. This is going to be what's called a reassessment year for Lafayette Parish, where the assessor goes out and reevaluates everybody's values. Also, there will be no general pay increases in this budget. And what's included in this budget, as I mentioned just a minute ago, was they're considering this budget is dependent upon a reassessment where we roll forward millages, which basically increases the amount people pay on their property taxes. And also they're showing an LUS rate increase for the city residents of Lafayette.
Now, every 4 years, we have to, by law, roll the millages forward, correct?
Well, let's redefine that.
Redefine it, if you would, please.
Yeah. By law, the council is obligated to do what's called a rollback, which means when you roll back, you are collecting the same amount of taxes that you did the previous year, the same amount of property taxes. And then the roll forward, which basically increases the amount of property taxes that can be collected, is optional to the council. So that is how...
Was there not a 4-year time frame on one of those issues, though?
Yes, reassessments. Reassessments can only be done every 4 years.
Every 4 years, okay. So have you done any quick math on this? Do we know what it might mean for the average person?
Well, one thing I want to mention to everybody is that in 2007, the assessed value, that's the assessed value and not the amount of tax you pay on your property, in 2007 was $1.1 billion. That's the value of everything in Lafayette Parish. Now they're showing us that the assessed value is $2.2 billion.
Wow.
So that's a substantial increase.
In the last 9 years, yeah.
Yes. And so it's definitely something that people need to be aware of, and it puts us, I guess, on a competitive market, as you've heard, and I know many people have said that sometimes the values of homes in Lafayette are more expensive than those in Houston. And so anyway, we're looking at a $620 million budget.
$620 million bucks. How much of that is money that must be dedicated to particular areas via local ordinance, state law, or federal law? Half, maybe?
At least that. Put it this way, I'm showing roughly about $464 million is restricted funds.
Okay, yeah.
And then we've got $44 million going to capital projects, and then basically the city-parish general funds combined, I think, are about $113 million.
Now let's talk a little bit about. So we know we're going to definitely see some changes in what we're going to pay at the end of the year as far as our taxes for property, whether it's your home or your business or both.
Right.
What is the proposal about the utility rate increases? Can you shed any light on that?
From what I can understand at this point, again, you guys bear with me. We just got our books
you just got it last night. Yeah.
We're looking at a 9% increase, and this is proposed, by the way. The council has the ability to either vote it up or down. So we're looking at a 9% increase, which is spread out over 3 years.
Okay.
And from what I understand, we were told is that was mainly going to try to be used for future capital projects.
Okay. So from those aspects, that is some information you have gleaned thus far. Now, let's talk a little bit about, for those people who do want to get involved in the budgetary process. They should come to the meetings, but I know a lot of people don't. And look, let's face it, when y'all have a budget meeting during the day, everybody's working.
Yes, and we understand that. And, how can I say that? Forgive us. It's one of those things where the budget reviews are going to be starting August 4th at 1 p.m. Downtown at City Hall in the Council Auditorium. There's another budget review, I think, on the 9th and then the 11th. All these are at 1 p.m. And some of these things can take hours because you're looking at, a 400-page budget minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, in the interim, though, people will is a copy of this budget accessible via the Lafayette City-Parish website?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yes,
good.
it is. If you go into finance, it is under budget management, and you can look at the budget. It was supposed to have been posted last night at 6 p.m.
So you guys hear presentations from the different department heads, and then let's talk about the up or down vote aspect of the process.
Okay, yes. What we do is we go through each and every department. There are the directors and all the employees that are associated with presenting the budget to us. We go through it. They provide us with whatever needs that they may have or foresee coming up in the future. The council has the authority to line item, either approve or disapprove anything that comes before us. And trust me, each one of these budgets have thousands of line items. So it's interesting in that you've got to look at, of course, what's necessary and what's not necessary.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the interim between now and then, hopefully we will get a chance to talk to LUS Director Terry Huvald to ask him, hey, this money, obviously it's needed for infrastructure. We've been discussing that for years, and we certainly know that is a reality, but maybe he can get more specific about what it would be and, explain to people, give them a good idea of why it is important. If we pay more now, will we get to pay or not have to increase what we're spending later on if we have better equipment? So we will find out from that aspect.
Yes, ma'am. I think that would be a good idea. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and that way people can have an idea of what is really there. So this first budget process with the new Lafayette City Mayor, Joel Robideau, are you anticipating anything really different? Or for the council persons, is it kind of just sort of status quo in a way?
Well, it's going to be a little different. Don't forget, we have 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 new council members up there.
Yeah.
And so for them, this will be the first budget that they've ever gone through. And with I think the mayor president and his staff may be the first one he goes through, not the CFO or anything like that. But I think it'll be interesting. So far, so good. We just need to look at it. Just to give your listeners an idea, like in sales taxes that are collected in Lafayette, and something I want to break down, for every dollar that's collected in sales taxes, the state of Louisiana gets 56 cents. Mm-hmm. Now, this is in the city of Lafayette.
Okay.
56 cents. The schools get 22 cents. Mm-hmm. Restricted amounts is 14. That deals with debt service and any kind of capital improvements or things like that. It's 14 cents. And the city's general fund only gets 8 cents.
Wow.
So don't forget, we just had a new 1-cent sales tax added from the state. So the state's getting 56, naturally more than half.
Yeah, and, that is because of, Lafayette is such a bigger parish. They end up being a donor parish for some of the other parishes.
Yeah.
Which is, that's tough to swallow, but at the same time, you need to have a strong, healthy state overall, but when you're the one footing the bill, sometimes it feels extremely, extremely painful.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. But, no, so far so good. I think it's good, $620 million budget, and there were some other changes that we'll be looking at. I think they moved the district attorney and a few things to the to I think another criminal court fund, and in the parish under the parish line item, they've moved a couple of other items. Let me see here. Well, I got you. They combined all external agency grants into two line items: social service grants, arts and culture, and all that. And other than that, no, I think we've covered most of what I've got so far. And like I said, just bear with me. It's
sure.
It's one of those numbers things. If you don't like numbers, then it's not a book you want to look at.
I would imagine not. Well, of course, we're going to continue on with covering the different aspects of this. And I want to thank you so much for sharing your information with us about last night's meeting. William Theriot, our Lafayette City Parish Councilman. Sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Do appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Coming up now on 653. Double-checking what's happening in traffic this morning, and all clear by Lafayette Police. But don't forget, road work continues at nighttime. The nighttime work for Cully Saloon Road between Farrell and E. Broussard Road. There will be two-way traffic. However, they're doing resurfacing on that road, so it's going to probably cause some slowdowns. And continual work, also nighttime hours for the Atchafalaya Basin as they're doing bridge inspections. Make sure that you're buckling up, keeping it safe out there this morning.